Unit 8, Discussion Board 2, How to Handle People in a Crisis. Depressed and suicidal people present an inherent danger to themselves and others, whether the individual is in their home or in the police are responding, or in a prison cell surrounded by correctional officers. How you, the criminal justice professional, deal with them can mean life or death. Okay, so for this, I wanted to speak on a personal experience. So back in 2010, I was incarcerated in Akron, Ohio, in the Summit County Jail. While incarcerated, I was on the medical pod. I've always had health issues. I'm epileptic, seizure disorder, so they had me on the medical pod. There was an older woman, like I was in my early 20s. She had to have been in her 30s at the time. So to me, it was an older woman. She was probably in her mid 30s. And she was in there for being suicidal. And the prison guards would just say, "Oh, don't mind her. She's crazy. Oh, she don't mean no harm. It's just empty threats falling on empty ears." And they were absolutely right, because it did fall on empty ears, because none of them took her seriously. She was bullied by the other inmates. She tried to bring attention to that and tell them, like, listen, I'm not comfortable. I've been being bullied. You have me on observation and supposed to watch me, but you're not seeing these people that keep harassing me on a daily basis. I'm miserable. I'm depressed. She wanted to die. And they said, "Oh, you're just," like, they really brushed it off with no compassion, no sympathy whatsoever. Like, I even told them that at one point, I said, "You treat us like a bunch of caged animals. So when you treat us that way, that's what we're going to act like. A lot of us are going to act like." And long story short, she eventually, like a few weeks after this, must have planned out how she wanted to do it, but she had taken her shirts, like a couple of her uniforms. She had somehow, like, she rigged these things together and tied her sheet with her fitted sheet, and she put it out over the banister in the daytime, and everybody thought it was funny, like joking around and this, that, not really taking it serious, until she climbed over them rails and jumped off of it. The weight from jumping broke her neck, and then the weight also unraveled the sheet, and it made her whole body drop to the lower tier. And when she dropped, her neck was already broke, and she didn't make it, but nobody had taken her serious. And they kind of, like, some people had laughed it off and said, "Oh, that crazy bitch," and said this and that about her and all this stuff. But at the end of the day, it's a sad situation when our criminal justice people, like people in corrections and stuff, do not have sympathy towards another human life, whether they're a criminal or not. Everybody deserves the same fair judgment and treatment. And it really broke my heart, because that she was someone's mother, someone's sister, someone's daughter. You know what I mean? And it was just a sad way to end a life. Like, nobody should have to feel that way or anything. I feel like it's crucial for officers to receive training on mental health issues, including, like, recognizing signs of depression and suicidal tendencies. And it could cover de-escalating techniques, crisis intervention strategies. Like, they could approach the individual with empathy and patience and use calm, non-threatening languages and listen actively to their concerns. Building trust can help de-escalate the situation. There's a lot of things that they could do. There's protocols to follow. There's support systems that they just need to learn discretionary measures a lot better than they do in a lot of places, especially low income poverty societies where I grew up and I'm from. And they need to have their own self-care before they can go caring for somebody else. I just feel like training is critical and crucial for people going into law enforcement. And I understand that there's such a high need for officers and things like that, and they're so underpaid, so it's hard to get, so they get on this flyby, and a lot of people get away with a lot of stuff. But at the end of the day, the rules are the rules, the law is the law, and you need to treat people with dignity and respect how you'd want to be treated. Thank you.